Peace be upon you. How are you today, my dear students? I wish you are fine. Today we will talk about the second lesson from chapter 2 in the curriculum of the second secondary grade. In this lesson we will talk about an important system in your body which play an important role or responsible for transporting the food and gases to all the cells of your body, and in the same time works as your immunity system. This system that we will talk about it inshallah is the human transport system. But before talking about its structure, we will do a small comparison between the transport of gases and food in the small animals and the transport of gases and food in the bigger one. Let's start with the small animals. In the small animals here, such as the protozoa and the hydra, there is no special transport system, but it depends on the diffusion as a main way only. For the transport of gases and food in the bigger and complicated animals, and the human is considered one of them or the head of them, as we studied before, the diffusion way here is not the main way to transport the food or gases, and there is a special transport system in it. So let's start in the human transport system. The human transport system, or your transport system here, consists of two parts or two systems. Number one, the circulatory system. Number two, we have a lymphatic system. And we will talk about each one of them inshallah in details. Let's start with your circulatory system. Your circulatory system consists of number one, heart. Number two, blood vessels. Number three, the blood. Let's start with your heart. Actually, your heart found in the middle of your chest cavity towards the left side, as you studied before. The heart is considered as a muscular organ. Muscular organ, it means that it contracts and relaxes, and this movement helps the blood to move to all the parts of your body. In the same time, your heart is surrounded by a membrane called a pericardial membrane. This membrane facilitates its movement. Now let's see the structure of your heart. As we see here, this is the structure of your heart. If we cut the heart like that longitudinally, we will obtain here two sides. This side, called left side, with a red color and represent with your right hand, and the another side here, which has a blue color, we call it right side and represent with your left hand. So again, we have here two sides, the left side, and it has a red color, represent with your right hand. The right side, which has a blue color and represent with your left hand. Each side of them contains two chambers. The upper chamber here called atrium, always called atrium. So this atrium found in the left side, so we call it left atrium. And the lower chamber here, called ventricle, and found in the left side, so we call it the left ventricle. So again, for the left side, we have here two chambers. The upper chamber called atrium, and found in the left, so we call it the left atrium. For the or the lower chamber here called the ventricle, and found in the left side, so we call it the left ventricle. The same here for the right part or the right side. We will have here the upper chamber called right atrium as it is found in the right side, okay, and the lower chamber called ventricle, so we call it the right ventricle, okay. This is for the 4 chambers for the heart. The upper one called atrium, we have right atrium, left atrium. The lower part called ventricle, we have right ventricle and left ventricle, okay. Now we will observe 2 things. We have here, okay, a blue color in the right side and red color in the left side. Why? Let's see the answer. And the another thing we have here for the thickness of the atrium and the ventricles, okay. The thickness of atrium, we will see it smaller than the thickness of the ventricles. Why? Let's see the answer, okay. For the first question here, why we have here in the right side, okay, a blue color, and in the left side a red color? What these colors represent? For the blue one, it means here that this part or the right part of the heart contains blood with carbon dioxide, CO2, okay. But for the red color here, it means that this blood contains oxygen, O2, okay. So the blue color, it means this blood contains carbon dioxide, and in this case we call the blood as deoxygenated blood. For the red part or the red color here, it means that the blood here contains oxygen, and in this case we call the blood as oxygenated blood, okay. What is the difference, or what is the root for each? For the deoxygenated blood here, okay, will leave the heart from the right ventricle to the 2 lungs through what? Through the pulmonary artery that branches or has 2 branches here, okay. Each branch will found in 1 lung, okay. So again, the deoxygenated blood will move or will leave the heart from the right ventricle through the pulmonary artery to the 2 lungs, as this is a place which the exchange of gases will take place inside it, okay. For the oxygenated blood that found in the left part here, okay, will leave the heart from the left ventricle, okay, to all the parts of your body to reach the oxygen to all the cells through what? Through the main and the largest artery that found in your body, which is the aorta, okay. So the deoxygenated blood will move to the 2 lungs, okay, to make exchange of gases in it, okay. But for the oxygenated blood will leave the heart to the cells to reach the oxygen for it, okay, through the aorta, and this is the main and the largest artery in your body, okay. This is for the blue and the red color in this picture, okay. Now what about the thickness? Why the thickness of the atrium here is smaller than the thickness of ventricle, okay. The atrium here only receive the blood, okay. For example here, the right atrium, okay, always receive the blood from the inferior vena cava and the superior vena cava, okay. The left atrium the same, but it receives the blood here from the pulmonary vein, okay. So the thickness here is smaller than the ventricle.